14. Started out on a big old green, and the earth got small as I climbed away, and the sky came up, got me in its way. I'm learning to fly.
Well, hi everybody. Welcome to clip 5, the final clip of a series of clips about a 278k flight in the Italian Alps I made in July 2022. My name's Mike O'Neill. I'm a full-size glider pilot, now sort of retired for the moment. I've done a bit of cross-country flying, got my silver badge and cross-country diploma, and done some other cross-countries, both as P1 and P2, but never in the mountains, all in the UK, using thermal lift over sort of pretty flat lands. So I am really absolutely new at trying to get the hang of mountain flying. Sorry about the start of this one, by the way. Until I press play, I think this strange whiteness won't clear, and then you'll be able to look at the landscape properly. So in this clip, I have rounded the first turning point, and I'm now back in the Italian Alps, trying to make my way to turning point 2. The wind is kind of pretty much behind me at the moment, so the slopes you're looking at ahead of you and things should all be into wind. I've just got to decide how much I want to stay on each one to actually try and gain height. I must have gained some height because I recall rounding turning point 1 at about 7,500 feet. I don't think I can even see back to the flatlands now. It's probably back that way somewhere. So I've done a certain amount of rising already on these slopes. And I mean, some strong lift here, and it's easy for me to say it now with hindsight, but I wonder whether this lift has got something to do with wave. This clip we're looking at and what happens in it is the thing that made me want to actually make these movie clips and put this little series on YouTube or wherever I decide to put them. I haven't put them on YouTube at the time of uttering these words. But yeah, I had been flying Condor cross countries in the UK. I had tried to set wave, one or two of the tasks in Scotland and things, but I'd never managed to contact wave. I just got a bit of a tickle in it, but nothing serious. And I think I'd kind of almost given up on being able to find wave in Condor. I thought perhaps it just isn't really easy to reach it. But to my great surprise on this flight, for the first time ever, I actually began to realise that the lift I was in was wave lift, and we'll see what happens. If you look up here, you can see the lenticular clouds that are the classic hallmark of mountain wave, lee wave lift. And I did set this task up so that there should be lee wave. So, right, I'm trying to remember where we're up to here. I think at the moment I'm still trying to work slopes. But at some point, and I'm not sure whether this is it just yet, I begin to realise that it finally dawns on me that some of the lift I'm experiencing, I just can't really convince myself it's associated with the mountain slopes. I think partly what made me slow to realise that was that I've not flown in the mountains before, and as far for all I know, the kind of powerful lift you get in mountains could extend way above the mountains. So I'm still behaving a bit as though it's the mountains and their slopes that are the source of the lift. So I'll just shut up for a minute and let's just fly and see what happens. I mean, this is puzzling because I'm not remotely connected to any of these slopes. In fact, if anything, I should be in the lee of something, I'd have thought, up ahead. But I'm in good, smooth, powerful lift. And why is that? Well, I don't really care why that is. If it's good and it's working for me, I'll have some of that. But look at the height now. I'm nearly at 15,000 feet. That's the highest I've been on this flight. So I'm just going to go back around and see if I can do another beat in whatever it is that's causing the lift. Whoa, that is strong. So I'm thinking to myself, I think this has got to be wave lift. Whatever it is, I'm just going to keep working. I'm just too curious. And that lenticular there is starting to feel kind of close, like I'm not too far off of its level. So surely now I'm starting to contact waves. So reverse the beat again, see what happens. And I'm now spending much more time studying the lenticulars and their positioning than I am the mountains. And it's feeling kind of right because I'm heading north. The wind is more or less east, slightly south of east. So, we kind of fit. Still trying to understand this. It's time to move along on task, whatever that was. It might have been wave. I'm not sure whether at this stage I've actually really sussed its wave yet, to be honest. I mean, it's easy now to look at it and sort of say, well, you're probably going to move into another band of lift here, and really I should have turned 90 degrees and gone across it. But of course, I was proceeding on task. I had good height. Perhaps I just wasn't thinking much away. Oh no. Decided to turn across it by the look of it. I'm not sure I understand why. I probably still think it's to do with that mountain down there. But again, I mean, I'm just taking a line between what gives me lift and where I need to go. So even if you don't understand what the actual source of the lift is, that's not a bad way to be thinking. To be honest, I'm slightly puzzled as to why, if it is wave lift, it should be behaving quite like this, but knowing so little about the mysteries of wave. End of the wave, which is why I've got all this sink, but whatever it is, I'm just pushing on out of it. Yep, and here comes another wave bar. I care to think about it, and I could have worked it, but again, as I said in one of the previous clips, I'm here to mountain fly at the end of the day, so I will have not been thinking in wave mode. Having said that, I obviously know I'm into something here. I think I was probably guilty of not looking up enough at the clouds actually while I was doing some of this. I mean, look at that lift. But I'm probably still thinking it's to do with the mountains. Maybe the directions are all wrong for that. And all the time, I seem to be not too far off the level of those lenticulars. It's very funny this, because as I sit here doing this narration, I can't remember very much about the task. So I'm trying to guess at where it was that I finally decided this is wave and I want to see how high I can get in it. I don't recall this, but I'm honestly enjoying fooling around in the lift. Just look at that lift. Feeling my way around the sky. I don't know what it is, I probably still haven't worked it out even now, but all I know is there's some really good lift on this beat, and I know I must have realised it by now, because just look at this lenticular stuff going up. I'm virtually involved with the cloud base of the lenticulars now, so I think by now I have well and truly begun to realise that this is wave lift. Fascinating, really, because it seems to be right. Oh, look! Whoa! Here we go. We're above the lenticular. All a little unrealistic, of course, because it wouldn't happen quite like that. And I'm also not quite sure why I was at that particular point, but maybe that was the point of strongest lift. I'd always imagined it was a bit more towards the leading edge, like this might be, but we shall see. We're having a bit of fun here. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, eating a sandwich or something like that. But here we are. We're now above the lenticulars, about 17,000 feet. And isn't this a joy? I mean, just look at this. Stunning lift, stunning views. What's not to like? Wow. That's all I can say is wow. I mean, you know, it's realistic enough for me, especially with a VR headset on and you can just turn your head around. And the lovely thing is that Bert is taking care of the flying that I originally did a few months ago, and I can now look around and take in things to a level that I never could do when I was actually doing the flight. Incredible. 18,000 feet. And I think I'm just wanting to see how high this wave will take me, because I'm out here to have fun, not to actually rush around the task. I've done some mountain flying, you know, shown I can do it a bit, and now I think, well, yeah, let's see what happens when you get involved with wave. one thing that's so much easier than when I first learned to glide and do cross countries is that we have all this technology, GPS and things, and ways of knowing exactly where to head to and the distance to them and the height we'll get there and things. Had none of that then. You had a 1/4 mil map, and if you got lost or got stuck above cloud, well, it was not a funny thing at all. But here it's a different ball game. We're in a glider that has a glide ratio of, I don't know precisely, but maybe 55-1, something like that. So it goes an awful long way in a straight line at optimal speed. And we have this fantastic navigation aid. It's just completely different from the way it was even, well, 40 years ago, sort of thing. Puzzling me on this flight is that we're supposed to be carrying water ballast, and I think we were, but if that's to be believed, it says the water valve is open, so and it's been open all the flight, so we'll have dumped all the water, so we're not actually flying with water ballast, so I'm going to pass on that one. I mean, just look at that. Wow. I was down there flying amongst those to stay up not long ago. Now I'm on top of the world heading for 20,000 feet. And the lift is still good. See how high we can get in this lot. Probably I've decided to transition to the next wave bar because I want to sort of make some progress on task. Very slowly for a 2-up and water ballast at this altitude, but as long as the plane will fly happily at the slower speed, I like to loiter in the good lift as much as possible and take what height I can from it. Passing through 20,000 feet very soon. Look at that, we're looking right down at all the mountains now. 20,000 feet and I didn't notice. See how much higher we can get. Strange, the cumulus look as though they're higher than we are. That can't be right. Just an illusion from Condor, I think. Remember if this clip runs long enough to show us what maximum height we got to, but I'm pretty sure I got to 22,000 feet before I decided it really was time to stop mucking around and just get on, move along. Oh well, yeah, here we go. This looks good. Glitch in the flying is probably just me, I don't know, reaching for a glass of water or fooling around, you know, things that probably wouldn't happen in real flying, but when you're mucking around with a computer, with the headset on and trying to take a glass of water or whatever. It's 21,000 feet. I think, again, this is an illustration of you can't overthink trying to work out where the best lift will be. Obviously, first of all, how well is Condor modelling it all, but even if in real life you get more experience and you will know much better where to head for. In the meantime, you know, you can still grope your way carefully but blindly around the system and just try and, you know, slowly get yourself towards the better stuff and away from the not so good stuff. And we're not doing badly here. I mean, someone might do better, but we're not doing too badly. Yeah, we're going to make 22,000 probably, aren't we? I think. And I think it may be that I just decided at 22,000 feet that, you know, you could carry on forever, but there's a point where you think, well, let's move along. That beat. Ready for one last little fool around with this lot. Again, adjusting position very gently, smoothly, feeling my way, slowly getting better. See if we can get into better stuff. Haven't really managed to contact it properly. Bit of patience. Starting to rise a bit. Struggling to find anything very exciting here at the moment, but okay. Is it looking a bit better? Now, can we turn along the line a bit? Oh yes, good stuff. And that's 22,000 feet. I probably decided that this will do. Let's wait and see. Possibly towards TP2. You can see I'm changing the PDA around there and settling into that. Look at that ground speed, 145 knots, 150 knots. Wind right behind us, 160 knots ground speed. Wow, really motoring here. Not sure how much longer this clip goes on. It probably ends in a second, but from here on we just fly fast to the second turning point, turned onto the last leg with plenty of height, and I seem to recall flying along the side of the lenticulars. Yeah, here we go. The clip's ended. Yeah, just flying along the lenticulars, then through them and down, well on final glide at a good speed, and we just kind of raced home. There was nothing more to be done, and of course that slightly highlights the thing with wave. When you get to a height like this, I mean, you just fly around the task very fast with plenty of height. You got to be a bit careful because you can get caught in the bad bits of the wave system and get tremendous sinks. So you still got to be very mindful of how you fly it, especially once you're well below the lenticulars and can't quite be sure where the wave is working well for you and when it's working strongly against you. But we had no great issues and it all went very swimmingly. Anyway, so I think this clip concludes the series on the 278k Alps flight. So I hope you found it enjoyable. And I have got a couple of other flights, one in Argentina and one in the Andes, both different, and very interesting in different ways, both with some real challenges at various times. So when I get around to doing those, I hope you might join me. Like and subscribe this channel so that you'll get notified, hopefully, when I do post those. And thank you for watching, and hope to see you around. It'll look like I'm bailing out of the glider from 21,000 feet as I take this VR headset off. But yeah, thanks again. There'll be a bit of rustling noise, sorry about that. All the best. Thanks for watching. See you around, and bye.